Dear students, welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture, you will be able to know about who are the first movers in cloud computing and what type of cloud computing better suits an organization. What are the scenarios, means the implementation of cloud computing, and finally we will conclude this lecture with what are the benefits and limitations of using cloud. We have already discussed that in order to increase profits for any organization, we need to reduce costs and thereby we can increase the growth. So, the IT infrastructure organizations need to maintain and update their infrastructure continuously. So they have to spend a lot of money and time in order to maintain and update them in a timely manner. So when we go to an option of cloud infrastructure as a service, we can increase the profits and the growth of the company will be high. Any new business opportunities need to be started in a quick manner, means we can go for IaaS infrastructure as a service basis, so that maintain and updating the infrastructure will be taken care by the service provider. So we can access the infra, either it might be a server space or CPU cycle or any number of systems. We can access it via internet and you can use directly in your organization. So internet cloud computing makes an organization extremely agile to address various business needs. Means by using cloud computing, we can quickly solve the business needs. What might be the business needs are the infrastructure or the platform, the software, all these comes under the business needs. So for any organization, the cloud service providers offers infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. We have already discussed in detail in the previous lectures also. So now who are the which companies moved first to the cloud? So cloud computing is a growing field and Amazon, Google and Microsoft are the new players in the market. In those days, Amazon offers a number of cloud services. Amazon was the first company to offer cloud services to the public, and the cloud services include EC2, means Elastic Compute Cloud, S3, it offers storage services, SQS, Simple Queue services, and Simple DB. All these cloud services are provided by Amazon. What is EC2? Under EC2, it offers virtual machines and extra CPU cycles for your organization. We have already discussed what is meant by CPU cycle. Once again, I am repeating. A CPU cycle means writing a data or getting the data, updating or fetching the details is nothing but CPU cycles. For that purpose, we will get the CPU cycles depending upon our requirement. This service provides virtual machines and extra CPU cycles. If you want only the storage service, you can go for a service called as Simple Storage Service, that is S3. It allows you to store items up to 5 GB in size in Amazon's virtual storage service. Normally, we will store our photos or documents, our related important documents, we will store in Google Drive. Like this, you can also use S3 services of Amazon. Simple Queue Services S3. Simple Queue Services SQS. It allows machines to talk to each other using an API, application programming interface. You can make a machine to talk to each other with this service. And SimpleDB, it is a web service which is capable of running queries on structured data in real time. Means if you want to retrieve the list of employees from the database, it will retrieve the data from the employee database like that. To run the queries on a structured data. Okay, structured data means the data which is in a tabular format is called as a structured data. So from that database you can get the data. All CRUD operations you can perform. Create, retrieve, update and delete. All these operations can be performed using this service. So it collectively provides ability to store, process and query data sets. So one of the most extensive cloud service using till now is Amazon. For more information about cloud services, you can visit aws.amazon.com. You simply browse that site and find out what are the different services provided by Amazon. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Next one is Google. Google App Engine. It is a platform as a service and a cloud computing platform for developing and hosting web applications. So Amazon gives us a root privileges, means we can write data to a file, but Google App Engine does not allow us to write to our own directory. It has removed that feature as a security measure. So Google offers online documents and spreadsheets and encourages developers to build features for those and other online software using Google App Engine. Using Google App Engine, you can also write features to Python language. As it is an open source programming language, you can code it. So more you can found at code.google.com/app engine. The third mover we are discussing is Microsoft. Microsoft Cloud Computing Solution is called Windows Azure. It is an operating system that allows organizations to run window applications, and we can store files and other data using Microsoft data centers. And what are the key components of Azure platform are Windows Azure, Microsoft SQL services, .NET services. It also provides live services and Microsoft SharePoint services and dynamic CRM services. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. Windows Azure. It provides service hosting and management of applications, storage, computations, and any networking services will be provided by Windows Azure. In Microsoft SQL services, it offers database services and reporting, means report generation. All those services will be offered by this SQL services. And .NET services provides service based implementations for depending on .NET framework. Live services, you can get the photos and we can synchronize documents, we can share and we can use them in your PCs, mobiles, and files across the PCs, phones, and websites. Live services will be offered by Microsoft. For this information, you can go for Microsoft live.microsoft.com. It offers many live services. You can also get the news updates like that. Microsoft SharePoint services provides a business content like the CRM services, collaboration and solution development in the cloud. That's the end of the chapter 1. And in chapter 2, we will cover your organization and cloud computing. That's the chapter name. We have already discussed that cloud computing is not a one size that fits for all. Means one type of cloud computing is not suitable for all organizations. Every organization has its own need. Some organization might want software as a service. If they have infra and lack of staff are there, means they can go for software as a service approach. For example, any other organization is not having infra but they are having good staff and they can develop software. In such a case, they can get infra as a service from the cloud. Like that, every organization needs are different and one type of cloud computing will never fit for all the organizations. So first of all, let us see when you need to go for cloud computing, when you can use cloud computing. It depends upon number of factors, which includes cost or benefit ratio. Means an organization cost to benefit ratio, what ratio it wants, speed of delivery. If you want to deliver any application within 2 days, you can't go for within 1 week, like that you can't go for a development approach. So you can go for software as a service approach, you can use the service instantly. So depending upon speed of delivery, how much capacity you will use. If you purchased 2 servers and it is a startup company and you are not going to use the full capacity of the servers, so whatever amount we have placed on purchasing those 2 servers is waste. So how much capacity you will use is you need to decide whether your data is regulated data or not, and your organization's corporate and IT structure is in which type of cloud computing better suits to your organization. You need to go for a research. Next, scenarios, means in cloud computing major implementations are 3 types of implementations. First one is compute clouds, the other is cloud storage and cloud applications. First of all, compute clouds, means It allows access to highly scalable and inexpensive on demand computing resources. For such a type, examples are Amazon's EC2. We have already discussed Elastic Cloud 2 means when we want more data on one day, we'll get some voucher type like that. We can go for compute clouds in a very high scalable manner. We can get the CPU cycles. And another example is Google App Engine, and another one is Berkeley Open Infrastructure for network computing. All these three are examples of compute clouds. So when you will go for an implementation of compute cloud, when you want to access highly scalable, inexpensive, and on demand computing resources which run the code that they are given. In such a case, you can go for this approach. So, compute clouds allows us to access applications maintained on a provider's equipment. All the data will be on provider service providers. The second implementation is cloud storage, means we will store our data on vendor equipment. Vendor means the service provider's equipment. So one of the first cloud offerings was cloud storage, and still it remains a popular solution. Cloud storage is a big world, and there are already 100 vendors offering cloud storage. You are very much familiar with this. You will use that Google Drive service, then one of the cloud storage. The third type of implementation is cloud applications. Cloud applications are used to deliver applications that depends on the infrastructure of the internet itself. Means we can get the versions of software as a service, and we can include as a web application that are delivered to users via a browser. So these applications offloads hosting and IT management to the cloud. Cloud applications will eliminate the need of install and run the application on the customer's own computer, as there is offload hosting means there is no hosting at the client side. So it eliminates the need to install and run the application. Many applications are cloud based in internet. You can search for them. You need not install them. You will just run the application. Some cloud applications include peer-to-peer computing like Skype, web applications like YouTube and MySpace. Another cloud application is SaaS, Google Apps, and software plus services from Microsoft Online Services. All these are cloud applications. Next, what are the benefits of using cloud computing? First one is scalability, means instead of buying, installing, and configuring the new equipment, you can buy additional CPU cycles or storage from the cloud. With this, we can be scalable, means we can reduce or we can increase the capacity of the servers. So when we require more capacity, the service provider will give you more equipment. When you or not required of much servers or much server space, you can reduce it. You will pay as per your use. Simply on pay and use basis we can use it. To what extent you use that services, you need to pay that much. The second advantage is simplicity. Means in the previous slide also we have seen this. No need of installation, no need of buying the purchasing the software like that. It is very a simple approach. Moving to cloud is a simple approach, as there is no need to buy and configure new equipment, and it is best suited for IT staff to get straight away to the development process, and the cloud solution makes it possible to get your application started immediately, and it would be somewhat cost to implement an on-site solution. And the another advantage is knowledgeable vendors. Means all these companies which are offering cloud services like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, IBM and Yahoo have been good vendors, and they have reliable service. They offer reliable service. They have plenty and capacities. So we all very much familiar with these names. So they are knowledgeable vendors. We can believe them, and they will offer the reliable services. And another advantage is security. Apart from security risks, some of the security risks many companies will offer, and they strive to keep the data in a secure and safe manner. Next, limitations of cloud. And we are always bothered about our sensitive information. When our data is moving to cloud, we obviously have a doubt regarding our data security. So once the data leaves from your hands and it lands in the hands of any other service providers, there is no guarantee that the data is secure. For example, in Google's policy, it states that the company will share data with the government if it has a good faith belief that the access is a lawful request. If it is any lawful request, the Google will always provide your data to the government. Like that, cloud service provider might even share the data with a marketing firm. So we need to take care. So how we can protect our data? By encrypting it, we can encrypting and we can move that data to the cloud. So companies sometimes will share that data, so you need to protect your data. Means that does not mean you can't maintain data on cloud. You just need to be in a safe mode. So the best way is to encrypt your data before you send it to the third party. Hope you know what is meant by encrypt. Converting the plain text into an unintelligible, unreadable format is called as an encryption. So programs like PGP and TrueCrypt will encrypt the files, and they need a password in order to access it. You can go to this truecrypt.org, and you simply encrypt any file and you will be known how it encrypts the data. So encrypting your data before sending it to cloud will protect it. If someone gets your data also, they are unable to read the data. Next limitation is applications are not ready. First, the application might require a lot of bandwidth to communicate with the users, and another limitation might be it also take a lot of effort to integrate with your other applications. If your application has to talk with a database that you have on site, and it may be better to have it locally also. Sometimes applications may not be ready because of internet issues, and we cannot communicate securely across the internet, and displaying results on interface like web browser. We must be ensured that our application is compatible with variety of browsers. Means that application should be able to open in correct way in internet explorer, either the user uses the chrome or opera, any browser, it should be compatible. And another issue is developing your own applications. When you develop your own application, there are certain benefits, and we can develop in a simple manner by using lamp softwares like Linux, an open operating system, open source operating system, Apache, an open source web server, and MySQL, M stands for MySQL, an open source structured query language for data web servers, Perl, a programming language. So using LAMP, you can develop an application in a quick and simple manner. So frequently asked questions in this session are implementations of cloud, or they may also use the term scenarios of cloud. So you need to write about compute cloud, cloud storage, and cloud applications. And the second question might be benefits and limitations of cloud. That's all for today's session, today's lecture. Thank you.